What's up, everybody? I told you I'd be back. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, actually. I'm going to share to a couple things real quick. I don't want to do that. Let's get that out of here. Get off my screen, bro. There we go. I don't want to do that either. Hey, Bradley, what's going on, man? What's going on? I'm going to tag my coffee company again while I wait for people to filter in here. Let me type this in. I've got my phone on a tripod, so I have to do this with like one finger. Coffee company.com. Not a whole lot, man. What's going on with you? Pin. Oh, you can see my dog back there. Check her out. Both my dogs are out here. It's a nice freaking day, by the way. So I can't share this to my page while I'm live, which is whatever. That's kind of frustrating. I wish there was a way I could do that. That'd be convenient because I could put it on my other pages. That's okay. I'll share it when I'm done. But I had a bunch of requests today. I'm going to talk a little bit today about my business, both of them, and I'm going to talk a little bit about decisions, life decisions, healthy decisions, and I have a friend who's going to join, so that's cool. We're going to talk about what he does. Of the video of the boy. Man, that was from a really long time ago. That was from like 4 years ago, ish, 3 or 4 years ago, and I was actually I was at my work at the time, and I was bringing him home, and he always liked the window down. He doesn't like it so much anymore, but when he was a kid, he liked how the wind felt in his face, and his hair would always blow around like crazy like that, and he loved it. You saw that video, Cass, when he was real little in the car? Yeah. It's pretty cute. Yeah, he looks a lot like Coda. Let me see if my buddy's here.
Sorry. It was the wind.
It's okay. It's just some water. But I'm going to have Charlie come in here and we're going to chat about all kinds of stuff wherever he's at. Charlie Pelzel, where you at, bro? Where you at? There he is. Is it not going to let me invite you? You'll have to request to join because usually I can send an invite. For some people I can, and some people I can't. That's really weird. All I can do is pin your comments or like them, and that's about it. It's got to be in your settings. That is interesting, and that's really weird. Because I don't have an option to even... Let's see, let me try to pull something up here. It doesn't even say where you were watching, so you must have some privacy settings. Living free. It's the best way to live, my guy. There's my wife back there. They can see your butt. Okay. All right, cool. It's all right. I'll turn away. Well, that's all right. I'll turn away from you. Oh, don't worry about it. Wives, I tell you. All right, we're going to change sides. We'll work around this. That's all right. I just didn't figure you'd want people staring at your butt this whole time. I don't mind if they stare at my butt. Yeah, Charlie, I don't have a way to even invite you in, dude. That's really weird. It's not even showing you as a viewer, which is really odd in itself. Um, Let me see if I can try to work around this. I'll send you an invite to watch, and if you hit that, hopefully it'll come up to tell me that you're watching, and then hopefully I can invite you, because that's really frustrating, if that's the case. Yeah, no luck at all, dude. What the heck? That's weird. It's got to be in your privacy settings, bud, because I can see when everybody else is coming in to watch, and I can bring them on camera. Um, Except for you, dude. So it's definitely your fault. Obviously, that's a joke. Are you are you on your computer, or are you watching on your phone, or it's just real weird? If anybody knows how to fix that, that'd be great. Because I have no idea how to fix that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna start talking anyway. So I gave the website a really major overhaul. Hopefully you're on your PC, okay. But hopefully you guys went to check it out yesterday when I was advertising it, because I spent a lot of time on there. Hey Libby, how are you? I'm gonna wave at you. Boosh. But I spent a lot of time revamping it because I realized I'm really proud of I'm really proud of my coffee company, and it's growing even during a pandemic. Where do I go to get some bearded bean? So you see that pinned comment that I just pinned. You can go right there to beardedbeancoffeecompany.com, and that'll take you right there, and you'll see the whole website revamp, and you'll see everything that's been done. And hopefully, while you're here, man, if we can get if I can get your perspective, if you check the website out, to see how it looks. Like I wanted the feel to be more inviting, and I wanted it to kind of be a little more professional of sorts, but keeping still the theme of my branding of a coffee bean with a beard on it. And that was the whole premise behind the business and the branding, was to literally make it all about the beard. And that was probably one of the best ideas that my friends and I ever had. And it's super funny. And I haven't seen another coffee company that does any even clever branding like that. Most of them, I understand why they do what they do, but they'll give you like this super like professional branding with a super like professional name, like even with like Black Rifle, it's something synonymous with something. And you have like King's Coast, and you have all these other major brands that are just all like super professional. So I wanted to kind of go against the grain with that, and I didn't want to be super professional. I wanted to be more inviting, but still keep professionalism intact. So I had to think of a way to incorporate something that's clever with marketing, and also maintain professionalism, so I still am credible and people take me seriously on what I do. And it seems to be working. So I think we came up with a good idea, and I've been advertising the business like crazy online. So anybody who's been in the West Coast, and anybody who's through the Midwest, through Lower Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and the east side of Chicago, and the northern side of Kentucky. You guys probably all saw my major advertisement that I've been putting out, and it's cycling currently. So hopefully you guys have like been scrolling through your news feeds, and you've seen advertisements for my company with that little video, and that's an ad that I targeted to people who have expressed an interest in coffee by itself. So every time you go through your newsfeed, you're going to see that ad pop up up until Friday. And I'm just going to keep retargeting that because that ad that I ran was really clever and really specific to demographics and locations. And running that specific ad, I bumped up my engagements on my page. Literally right now it's 42,000%, which is an astronomical amount. It's an astronomical percentage. You know, imagine you investing $1 and then making $42,000 on top of that. That's not what happened. I'm just saying that's a perspective to give you an idea of, like, basically I went from like a few people watching to a 42,000% increase of people watching the page. And we're about ready to break 500 likes on the page, which is cool. I'm not really 100% all about the likes. I'm more, personally, I would rather have, you know, like 15 people who actively engage with a website. Might have to use your phone instead of your PC. Yeah, whatever you got to do, man. It's okay. This isn't like professional by any means. So, I don't know if we can figure it out, man. We'll get you on here. I'm going to be on here for like an hour anyway, so we've got time. No worries. But I'm really, really hammering on the branding, and I'm really, really hammering on the advertising to try to really boost what's called conversions, which is basically getting people to add something to their cart and purchase it. And it's gone up significantly, and hopefully one day down the road, you know, I'm looking at like 2-3 more years down the road as I continue to invest into the business, you know, I'll start being able to look at it and say, hey, you know, maybe I can do this full time finally, which would be really, really cool. Because I'm doing this it's all self-funded, and I have been since day one, and it's been 2 years now. So, I'm self-funding the business, and I'm self-funding the company, and I don't take a pay from any of the sales that happen on the website. It all goes and recycles back into the business to either update the website or do something with the marketing or advertise it some way. All of that money has always gone back and cycled back into the business, and that's always what it's going to do until I can afford to both market and advertise and have enough left over to give myself a pay cut. And you have to be really, really patient, and that's a thing that really, really sucks for people, especially right now with a pandemic going on, is we want things in 2020 to be like this, and they can be on the surface. You know, you want some, in the small day-to-day stuff, you want to have speed, and you want to go fast, and you want to get things done quick and efficiently, but over the long term, you have to be patient, even through the hard times like we're going through right now, where businesses are being knocked out left and right. You still have to remain patient, and I think that's a problem that a lot of small business owners are going to run into, is they're used to doing things the way that they were used to doing them, and now that they have to alter that game plan and change their framework, they're kind of up the creek without a paddle. And oh, there he is. Let's bring you on camera. That's working now. It must be just a mobile thing, dude. I don't really understand. That's really weird. But we got you, bro. We got you. And if any of you other people want to come on, you are more than welcome. Aha!
There we go. That's a
We got it
joke.
figured out. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that, man, but talk about frustrating.
Yeah, I can't do it over computer for some reason. It's weird.
I have a question for you. As time goes on, do you progressively just get younger? Because you're beautiful.
Maybe my face, but my hairline is not. That's
yeah.
I might look younger, but it's creeping. Thank God for long hair.
I've got an inverted smiley face, like coming in on the top of my head. So.
Oh yeah. Mine, I realized once I grew my hair out a little longer, when it's wet and I slick it all back, I look like comic book Joker. How his hairline is like ridiculously back. Yeah, it's cool, but it's not all at the same time.
I look like old Terminator after he had half of his face blown off with his hair spiked up after I get out of the shower. So
Hey, that works. That works.
yeah, I like that shirt, man. Where'd you get that?
I had it made. It's the logo that you made, but I did it in gold with the
Yeah,
red. It's the only Vlad T-shirt that's ever been made.
it's beautiful, dude.
The rest is just hoodies.
I kind of got my superhero T-shirt on too. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there you go.
And that exact symbol is right there. All the
Yeah,
boys.
baby. Yeah, I like it.
It's
So,
still my background for my computer.
so
Hasn't
what,
changed. It won't.
are you still streaming everything and are you still doing all that?
So I haven't streamed in a couple months, just because I work Monday through Saturday
Yeah.
and hours aren't great. So by the time I was trying to stream after work and I was just so physically exhausted, I was like, I can't even be funny with how tired I am. So
Yeah.
I just took off. On Thursdays, I still do the True Fame After Dark podcast.
Hmm.
We're on a season break, but yeah, I still do that on Thursdays.
Hey, a lot
So
of
I'm
people in here
still.
like podcasts, so tell all these people where to find it. I mean, you're gonna there's like 800 people that are gonna watch this eventually, so
Mhm.
you market it, man, market it away.
So I'm an affiliate with True Gaming on Twitch. They're the team that I've been affiliated with since I became an affiliate on Twitch. And they're a pretty awesome team to be part of.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a character streamer, so Vlad got invited to a handful of their podcasts, and I made enough people laugh that they're like, "Hey, how about you come on True Fame After Dark?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I've been on True Fame After Dark more than anybody else as a guest,
Nice.
and after their first season, they're like, "Hey, we need other hosts. Do you want to help host it?" Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to always just wear my mask with it, and just doing that every Thursday just kind of became more of a pain in the ass.
Sure.
So it was like just be normal me, but with the accent.
You still do
And
the accent?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Everybody
Yes.
that's a host in the podcast knows that I'm not actually Russian. For those of you that are watching that are very unfamiliar with what the hell I'm talking about, I created a character back when I was in law enforcement by the name of Vlad. He's a Russian superhero, and I wouldn't say perfected, but I've crafted a pretty good American Russian accent,
Yeah, it's really good.
and it's gone pretty well. One of the big streamers that's actually in True Gaming, he's one of the reasons why I got in it. I recently broke to him that I was not Russian. He was playing games off stream and he invited a handful of people. So I popped in, and another one of my hosts that I co-host with, he's like, "Yeah, we should tell him." And he's like, "What?" And I go from talking like this the entire time to just dropping it. And he's like, "Wait, what is happening right now?" And me and the other co-host were just like holding our sides laughing because he couldn't handle what was going on. And he's like, "Dude, tell him your name." I was like, "My name's Charlie." He's like, "What is
Oh my God.
happening? That's the most American name." Like, yeah, definitely not Russian.
You had that effect on a lot of people, at least from what I remember. And a lot of people did the exact same thing. Just
A
that's how you
lot
know you're good, man. That's how you know you're good. People really thought you were from Russia. And I remember I had people asking me questions because like you were streaming or whatever, and they knew we were
Mhm.
friends, and they'd be like, "So where is he from?" And I'd be like, "He's from Russia, dude." And I would just like go along with it and just go
It's from the
along with it
city of
forever.
Omsk.
Hey,
I
whatever, man.
looked up a city that sounded funny in Russia, and I went, "Yeah, he can be from there," because there's two cities, and I don't know which came first, but somebody copied off the other. In Russia, there's a city called Omsk. It's OMSK. There's
Omsk.
another city that's called Tomsk. It's the same thing with a T. So keep it lazy.
Hey, there's my wife. Whoa, a couple of studs. She's talking about you. I'm just here.
I like it.
But no, people bought it, man. Your accent is really, really good. And I'm just gonna like add this in right now is like when I first like really was like pushing you to like do it because you have the personality for it and we had that
Yeah.
conversation a million times. Like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to you in a while and like talking to you on camera now versus then is literally night and day.
Oh yeah, the camera is such an easy thing now.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Funny thing is, I feel weird in podcasts not using my accent.
Yeah.
Like it's
I can
weird
imagine.
because my mind is so used to if camera's on, oh, then I'm just supposed to talk like this, easy peasy. I don't have to worry about anything. But making myself go like, oh no, it's you're allowed to be you during this. You're good.
Yeah.
It's screwy. If I'm on my computer, my headset's on, and I'm chatting with people from True Gaming, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to speak in the accent. It's like,
Yeah. I
oh
don't
yeah,
even like you're really good at it, but like being really good at it and consistent for like hours, like 4, 5, 6 hours, like
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
I've never broken character on stream. I've come close. One of the times, I think this was like a year ago, my nephew for my oldest brother, who I haven't seen in like 6 years, hopped into my stream because I put my link on Facebook. He's like, "Oh, Uncle Charlie," and everybody's like, "Who the hell's Charlie?"
What?
And I was like, "Who is this?" Thinking it was my middle brother's one of his kids. He
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, it's James," and I just stopped. Like, I stopped because like I was emotional and almost broke character. I was like, "Keep it together." And chatted with him in character through the thing, and ended up messaging him after, like, "Dude, thank you so much for stopping by. That was awesome."
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, I'm a character.
Mhm.
You almost gave it up, man.
I wouldn't.
You
It's no
almost
big
ratted
deal.
it. He almost got you. That's okay though. People still bought it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a weird thing. Like it's anytime if I play Overwatch on my computer, I only use my accent just because it is so much more of like a morale booster for folks. Because
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
"We got a weird Russian guy in our team. This is awesome," and people end up like they laugh their asses off. It's
Got this
just
in the bag.
yeah, it's just fun. It's not really messing with people. It's just making people laugh more.
I started like I didn't tell anybody about it because I never did it, but I was like doing like a series of recordings like in game where I was
Mhm.
doing like accent like I was doing impressions of the Overwatch characters as I was playing them in
Yeah,
matches.
you have them nailed.
Yeah, I had a couple of them down really good, and I remember
Mhm.
like one specifically where um, I said something that like Soldier 76 said, and as soon as I said it, I saw these mics click on in the chat, and a couple people were like, "Dude, that was so good!" And then they're like, "Can you do Winston?" I was like, "I have no idea." So then I like it was when I first started like playing the game, so I like
Yeah.
listened to some stuff that like Winston would say in the game, and I listened to
Hmm.
him a couple times and said it, and I was like spot on. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Impressions are weird. Like
Yeah,
you're like, I
yeah,
don't know if I can do that. You try it and you go, oh no, that one's not good. But if you try another one, you're like, how the hell do I know how to do that?
yeah. And I think I've like done enough, like like you do enough impressions, like after you hear enough of them, you can like gauge the inflections and the tones, and you can just like you
Hmm.
can get really close, like when you first try it, and then you have to like fine tune it. But yeah, I did
Yeah.
like they had me do like Winston, and then something that Reaper would say, and they were just like totally astonished. So I was like, okay, maybe I should just keep doing this as I go, and then like people who
Hmm.
have their mics or whatever, just record these conversations that they have and see if they freak out, and then I'll just put them on YouTube. But I never did, and I should have, but it's
See,
whatever.
the only one I was able to do was McCree, and the only reason why I was good is because people would hear a Russian accent, and then me do McCree, and they're like, "Holy crap, he does a good cowboy."
I can't do
Russian.
McCree's voice.
See, it's I just
Hi,
is that
that's my
how
little
big
one.
is your youngest now? He's gonna be huge.
He's almost a year and a half. You want to see him?
Yeah.
Hi, come here and say hi.
Holy
Hi.
crap, he is huge.
Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I know.
Last time I saw him, he was munching
Look,
on avocados,
look.
and
Who is
letting the
that?
whole world know that he was hungry.
Say hi. You gotta go like this. Say hi.
Huh?
Say hi. Yeah, that's Charlie. Do you have a good nap, bro?
Yep, I pooped everywhere.
You can give me a hug? Give me a big hug. There we go. Oh, I love you too, bud. This is my favorite dude. Okay, okay, you gotta let go. He's clinged on. Oh, say bye-bye. Bye. I'll play with you later. I'll be done soon. You'll be okay.
Yeah, last
He's
time I saw him, we were eating lunch, and he was going, ah,
yeah, he's
because
doing
he
that right
couldn't cut
now.
avocados fast enough.
Oh, now all of a sudden you want to hang out. You don't want anything to do with me all day. Melts my heart, man. He's too freaking cute.
He is.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah? Yeah? Me too, man. Only on Wednesdays, though. Remember? My wife said something else. Oh, that's Sean. Who's the other Jen? I know Lex. Sean, this is my friend Charlie. If you, I don't know if you're still active on Twitch or whatever, um, but you can look up Friendly Neighborhood Vlad on Twitch, and you can find his account. He and I have been friends for a long time since we were in law enforcement. And I met him in an adjacent town where he worked, and we just kind of had talked off and on, and we became friends through that. So, and here we are. What, 4, 5 years later? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Something
I've
like
been
that.
out of law enforcement now for just over a year and a half.
I've been out for 4 years.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I think about it, and then I'm just like, it's about it. I'm just,
You can be goofy in law enforcement, but I think I'm too goofy to be
My problem
that.
was that I was too nice, I think. I was
Same.
told I was too progressive, meaning that like I of course I did my job, but I was just respectful to people and I never had a problem. I only had to pull my taser twice in 10 years and I've never pulled out a can of spray. I've never gone like super hands-on with anybody. Just like
Mhm.
just to kind of assist them where we need them to go. But it was never like any rough and tumble. I never had any problems with anybody. And I
Mhm.
was too progressive because of that.
It's
And
nuts.
I'm just thinking, man, you just pull your taser twice in 2 years. Don't even fire it. You don't discharge it.
It's not bad.
Isn't this a good thing? Isn't that what we want?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure
You
it's among
you
other
got a
things.
list. You'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
But no,
good.
I'm happier outside of that.
I'm
A
much
lot less stress.
happier. And what hair I didn't lose in it, I get to keep. So
Yep,
I'm trying
exactly.
to hang on to that for a little bit longer.
The only bad thing I got from it after was I realized I shrunk an inch.
Well, having
I
that belt and having the
I
vest and
was
having everything, yeah.
I was 5'10", and like half a year ago I went to the doc and she goes, "Yeah, so you're 5'9". And I was like, "You watch your mouth. I was 5'10". You've been 5'10" forever. She goes, "Yeah, you're 5'9". I was like, "This is horseshit." Like,
First
I'm
off, madam,
5'10".
I'm 5'10". Secondly, no.
It's like I can't be shorter. I'm the tallest person in my immediate family. This can't.
I don't know. I'm like on the short end of like 6'4", and that's probably just from working out and putting all the weight, doing all that. But
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. I'll probably get a like osteoporosis or like break my spine or something eventually. So I'll have to do
Yeah,
my
right now
lives
though,
at like a side angle because I'll just be like this all the time.
I don't know.
I can't help it.
See, I just now started working out again, and I stopped like right before Corona hit, and I didn't work out this entire time, and I lost roughly 12 pounds of muscle mass.
See, this is
And
good because one of the viewers wanted to talk about this specific thing. So why don't we talk about this for a little bit?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was the lightest I've been since freshman year of college, and I'm
I'm
just now getting everything back.
I was my biggest when I was like 25, and that was when I was like I wasn't married, I was single, I didn't have any kids or any responsibilities besides like go to work and come home. So I spent all my time in the gym, but all I did was like sleep, eat, and go work out and go to work. And
Hmm.
when I graduated high school, I was 175, and then when I got out of college, I was 185. And by
Yep.
that time, I was 22 ish. And by the time I was 25 and started working out heavy, I was up to 215.
Sweet
I was,
Jesus.
yeah, I was jacked. And the problem was that I felt like crap because my body's just not designed for it because I'm tall and I'm skinny and I have like a runner's build, so I don't need to like carry that much weight around. And it caused more
Hmm.
problems than what it was worth for me. So I scaled it down and I'm pretty good at like 205, and that's where I'm at right now. But
Nice.
I took like 2 years off, and we got the family stuff situated, getting used to
Hmm.
having kids and doing that and getting everything straightened out. And last year, I started working out again because, like, how you just feel like crap, like once you get out of that loop. And
Yep.
after a couple months, like you're just sitting there one day and you're like, man, I feel like crap. I feel like crap. I look like crap. And I'm just crap right now. And that's kind of where I was going. You have like that cloud over your head where you just, I was just always tired. And no matter how much I
Hmm.
slept, it's because I wasn't taking care of myself. And,
Yep.
and that's where I like put the stop. And I'm just like, nope. And as soon as I did that, I just got right back in the gym the next day. And now I'm
Hmm.
good. Now I'm good. Hi, bud.
Yeah, the biggest I ever got was be three
Cool.
years ago. Was when I did the when I cosplayed as Johnny Cage. It was the
Yeah,
year I got married.
I
Yeah,
remember
so it
that.
was 3 years ago, and the amount of time I put in the gym was ridiculous.
That's fine. Can you do me a favor? Would you care? I'll tip you if you get me some coffee, just like you're at work. I can't really get
Nice.
up because I'm kind of stuck, but if it's okay, I love you. Huh? What do you want? She wants me to cook. Just for her to fill my coffee cup, she wants me to cook dinner.
That's fair. You make pretty good food.
That's true.
From what I've
Yeah,
seen, I haven't tasted it, but it looks good.
man. I tell you what, the Alfredo sauce that I make, and if I make like a whole Italian dinner, we're having
Hmm.
Alfredo made from scratch. We're having salad. We're having breadsticks. We're having the whole 9 yards. And like the first time I made it for her, she licked her plate clean because it was that good. It was delicious.
And then an hour later, Olive Garden at your house.
I'll make
You
it
just
for
have
you
an Olive
sometime.
Garden there.
Mine's honestly mine's better than Olive Garden because theirs comes out of a jar. If you
Yeah.
make it from scratch, it's way good. But
Hmm.
yeah, she's like, you need to make this again. Like she literally like licked the plate clean.
Jeez Louise.
I'm old and chubby, and I'm getting back on track and remembering what Jake taught me in the gym. I need to start walking. It's not many excuses why I can't after having major surgery, having total knee replacement. Yeah, so I don't know if you know who Jesse is, but I think I told you that story. He lost like 100 plus pounds.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember the photos with him. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. For some reason, he credits me for that, but I didn't lose the weight for him. The only thing that I did, like kind of like with you and like everybody else who I've like pushed to do anything, I just gradually added on
Hmm.
to pushing until you're just like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And then when you did it,
Hmm.
you're like, dude, this is phenomenal. I love this sort of thing.
My favorite
And
hobby.
so I just kind of like, you want a hug, man? I'll give you a hug. You have fun.
Okay.
All right.
My friend is actually 6.
You want to say hi to Charlie?
Hi.
You remember him?
Hi, man.
Here, come over this way so he can see you on camera.
Hi, dude.
Oh my.
He can't really see it.
There you
There we go.
Hey.
Say, what's
go.
up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Oh, hanging out.
He said he's just hanging out.
What I'm doing?
He's getting ready to go to a birthday party.
Speaking of
He's
hair,
He's
look how
getting ready to go
luscious
to a
this is.
birthday
Yeah, he's got
party.
way better hair than I do. Look at that. Look at your hair, man. You got some killer hair. You know that?
You're welcome.
Why don't you give him a peace sign? Because you're going to a birthday party. Say,
I gotta
see you
do a
later.
birthday party. See you later.
Come on, bud.
See you, Cass.
Dingo.
Love you, dude. Oh, somebody just put in an order for the coffee company, man. That's awesome. Whoever that is, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So, my wife commented that her and my mother-in-law loved the blend I got for her birthday. It's the
Good.
breakfast blend. Oh,
The breakfast blend?
she was so stoked about it.
I haven't tried it yet, but the people who have ordered it recently have all messaged me. Every single one of them have messaged me, and they're like, "Dude, that's good coffee." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm gonna have to buy some of that." And I want to try the Bali Blue, which is one of the newest ones that I got in.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that, but I was like, I don't know, breakfast blend sounds pretty delicious.
I'm starting to think I need to get some of that for myself too. I need to I need to just get like one of each eventually, and like that's going to be a lot of money. But I'm gonna have to get like one of each and just like drink one as I do these, I guess, and then tell you guys what they are and how they taste. But
There you go.
I'll just drink what I got in my Overwatch mug. But
I was wondering what was on that. That's basically a stein.
well, it's like washing away, but it's got all the characters from the game on it, and it was a Christmas gift, and they're starting to like fall off. But it's an extra large mug for my extra large hand because people make fun of how big my hands are. Imagine my hand in an 8-ounce mug. Right.
See, I got my wife a Texas mug, and it's a little photo of the U.S. and then where Texas usually is, the whole northern part is like most of the country.
Yeah.
It's the everything is big in Texas mug.
Texas. I always think when I think of Texas, I think of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Can't help it. But going back to Jesse, I had some talks with him. I won't go into a lot of details because I don't put people out there like that. They can tell their own story and they should. But he and I had a lot of talks because kind of like how I was. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked, and I was angry. So I had that conversation with myself, the same one I had with him about eating better, changing your life, changing your habits, and just not necessarily completely changing your life, but just taking the bad habits and substituting them for the good ones. Instead of going to McDonald's, cook something at home, and you can have the exact same burger. It's just the fact that most of us just don't want to take the time to make it, so it's much easier to go spend the $2 and get a Big Mac, and it's way worse for us. And the bad part about it is that we know it and we still do it because the convenience overtakes the quality. And that coming from a health perspective and from a business perspective is like it sucks. It really sucks. I don't eat at McDonald's. I don't, and I haven't in years. If I get anything, I just get some like a Blizzard, and that's all that I get from there. But we had those talks about, he was asking, well, what should I do? How do I do it? Because I'm just tired of it. And I was like, okay, I get you, man. I've been there a couple times, and knowing his situation, it was like, well, we're going to start slow, and we got to figure out, I'll take you through the process if you're willing to do the work. And to this date, he is the only person who's been in a situation that's worse than others that I've taken through the same process. And he's the only one who's never quit. He's the only one out of like the dozens. And most people, I'll take them through my routines and like, here's my workout. If you want to try it, do really lightweight. And after the second week, they just don't come back, And it's just because it takes work and you have to change those habits. And a lot of people they don't want to. And
And I just saw his comments. He quit smoking, quit drinking. I was like, those are going to help you significantly.
yeah, he was. I think he was almost up to 400 when we started, and so we started with the easiest thing possible, which was changing the diet and walking. Those were the
Yep.
two things, and burning the calories that he's taking in, and because a lot of it was fast food calories, and it was one of those like, well, we have to get rid of those calories and replace those calories with other calories that are better for you. And so we
Yep.
started going through diet plans, and then we literally started, we started crawling, and we started walking, and then we started running, and then we started jumping, and then he's down 100 plus pounds, and he literally looks like a new man.
Yeah.
And Jesse, I want you to know, man, that I know that I'm very, very grateful that you always give me credit for that. I didn't do anything but push you to do whatever. You're the one who did the work. You're the one who lost the weight. You're the one who changed your life. And you should be thanking you because you changed your life. And look how it's benefited you, man. And all that weight really took a toll on his knees. So he had knee replacements done. And even after the knee replacements, when I go through town, this guy's out with his wife walking on the sidewalk, trying to get back into it so he can go back and work out again. That's the kind of guy I want on my team.
I remember seeing the photos and it was like, holy crap. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah. It's inspiring, man. It really is. And I hope that one day I can push him further to really like go public with his story about how, his journey, because those things are inspiring to people and people love, I'm kind of like Rogan in the way that I love success stories, but even more so, I like a story about somebody who just completely screwed their life and got their shit together and then won after that. I think that's an even better story. And that's kind of
what was his name? I can't remember. The guy that owns all the Spartan races and Tough Mudder. I think it's Joe something.
I don't know.
He was on Rogan and he talked about how there was a guy that went through one of the Spartan races. It took him like 6 hours, but he made it through it. And people that worked at that event went, hey, we need to get in contact with this guy.
Yeah.
So they sent all of that guy's contact info to the owner. And they said, okay, this guy came here because he wanted to do it. It took him this long. And he's like, all right, I'm helping him. So he reached out to this guy, said, here's what you need to do. Take off this much time off of work if they're going to allow you to get healthy. Because I think he was 400 pounds. No, he was 500. He was 500 pounds. Taller guy. And the owner of Spartan Race took him he's got a ranch up on this big old hill and had him eating raw greens, nothing cooked, raw greens and water and something else, and had him drop almost 200 pounds.
Oh, yeah. That'll go quick. I mean, especially if it's just greens, but you have to vegetable protein and meat protein are two different proteins and your body needs both. And
yeah, when he said raw greens, I was like, oh no.
Like raw green beans, raw broccoli, is that what we're talking about? Because if so, phew, yeah, you gotta have some meat, man.
Jaw looked great after.
Especially after raw carrots and raw beets.
Raw greens all day.
I couldn't do it, man. I wouldn't be able to. You have to I understand why a lot of people go vegan, and I understand why a lot of people do keto and stuff. But I'm no dietitian, I'm no scientist, I'm no specialist in any category other than just talking about what I know, and what I know isn't a lot. But the people who do keto for like a year straight, I don't understand how they can do it because it's so terrible on your kidneys, and they don't understand how it just rocks your freaking kidneys. And you can, if you're not careful with that, you can damage your kidneys for the rest of your life. Keto is meant to be in a ketogenic state for anywhere from like 1 to 3 months, and anything over that is like, it's bad. It's hard on your body. And it's meant to kick your body It's meant to kick the bad habits that you've spent years developing out of your body so you can have a foundation to build from that. And you're supposed to get everything back to the foundation. And once you do that in that 1 to 3-ish month period, then you're supposed to
Mhm.
kick out of keto and then continue with a better lifestyle of eating healthy and not eating fast food and doing all that. And a lot of people are just like, nah, I'll just keep doing it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not going
See,
to tell anybody what to do. That's
yeah,
dangerous, man.
I understand being a vegetarian. That actually makes sense. Vegan, that's mind blowing to me because with vegetarian, you're still eating super healthy. You're still getting proteins from like eggs, and you can still consume milk and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and get a good amount of what your body needs from that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, with being vegan, it's like I always love the jokes that stand-ups put out. It's like these people look like they're ghosts.
Yeah, they
We're
really
all
do.
just like,
Well, the problem there is for a lot of people who aren't very savvy with dieting and very savvy with nutrition, they don't understand that being like a straight up like 100% vegan, which is like no dairy, no meat, no cheese, like none of that, and you're just eating like greens and fruits, like that's great. It's good. It is, but you have to get your iron from somewhere. You have to get your meat protein from somewhere. You have to do something because the problem that you develop after whoever whatever your body decides is you develop anemia, and
yep.
that's the pale state that you're talking about is people who have been straight up straight vegans for so long that their body is just like, oh my god, like starving, like when let's go
Mhm.
back to SpongeBob SquarePants when he needed water, like that's what your body's like when you don't,
I need
yeah,
it.
screaming for iron, screaming for it. Like
Yeah.
eat 16-ounce steaks for the next month. I'm dying over here. But you know, a lot of those people like it causes a lot of problems, man. You have a blood clot issue, you have a problem with
Mhm.
staying awake, you have a problem with blackouts, you have a problem with bruising more easily, you have a problem with injuries, you're more prone to a lot of things while you
Yeah, you
think
have
you're
to take
helping
a lot of
yourself.
supplements.
So you have to
Mm-hmm.
be really careful. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying just learn what your body needs because every body is different. I need more protein than the next person. I know that. I know what my body needs and I've learned to listen to my body. And you have to pay attention to the signals and you have to understand what your body's telling you. And
Mm-hmm.
like right now my body's telling me that I need some peanut butter because I need some peanut butter protein somewhere. But um, yeah, I need some sort of protein. So I definitely don't need like I had chicken last night and I'm good there. Like I had a lot of protein for like lunch and dinner yesterday, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I'm gonna have to eat like a peanut butter sandwich later. I don't know, but I just know that's what my body needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's pretty much every meal I have, I'm getting a good source of protein. It's
Yeah.
just how my body metabolizes. I've never counted calories just because one, I've never needed it, and two, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not worried about it. But I know my caloric intake is high for my stature and body type, but it's just because my body constantly burns stuff.
Yeah, same. But I was also like through high school, I was always really active, so my metabolism, I think I developed a fast burning metabolism anyway because I played baseball, I
Mhm.
did basketball, I did track, and I did cross country. So
Gosh.
obviously, yeah, obviously with like cross country, you're going to burn through calories, and I think my body just developed that way. But trying to like trying to even put on weight is like a struggle. Like I have to do the whole like whey protein and then
Mhm.
5,000 calories on top of that. Like I eat like 5,000 calories a day, and I'm still like I'm getting a lot better. My chest is finally filling out after 33 years, and you can like finally like see some like discernible biceps in there.
There
But
you go.
it took a really long time. It a
Oh, yeah.
really long time, and it sucked because I was always like the skinny nerd. So
Mhm. The funny thing was, when I got to my biggest, I wasn't that big. I always say my biggest, but it was big for me. It's not big for
right,
anybody else,
yeah,
but it was big for me. And I showed my cousin. I was talking to my cousin at the time, and I was like, "Dude, I'm so big. I'm at 180 pounds. I am jacked right now." I sent him a photo of me on a cage. He goes, "Dude, you aren't even that big." Like, screw you, I am huge.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah,
Ah, like
yeah,
215 was big for me, but being 6'4" and being 215, it evens out and
yeah.
I look normal. But
Mhm.
I think I'm around like 195 right now and I feel pretty good. My body
I
wants
think
to kind of stay there like 195, 200.
I'm getting back to 170, which is where I need to be.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I was floating around 160, which is pretty bad for me.
Yeah,
It's
I think I was down to like 175 at one point and being 6'4" and working my job where it's just go, go, go. Like I know that's part of my problem of not being able to carry a lot of mass because my job is very much go. I work in a distribution center anyway, so it's very much you move all day. So putting on muscle mass or putting on weight or whatever is hard for me to do, but I'm
Mhm.
still doing it and I'm able to do my job better because of it and I can actually focus on my tasks. But it's I think a lot of the problems is that you can go on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen everything too. You can find everybody saying, they're like, oh wait, don't skip this ad, don't skip this ad. You want to change your life for the better. You want to do this and that. You want to have the best body that you've ever had in your life. And they're taking these recordings with their shirts off and like trying to do everything to just catch you. So you'll buy
Makeup
their stupid
widgets and
program.
stuff. Yeah.
And they're trying everything that they can do to just catch you. And as soon as they hook you, they're like, sign up for my free 6-week program. And then after that, you're going to owe like $1,000 for stuff that you can just find for free on Google. And it's bullshit. But what people really need to practically understand is that your foundation, if you are overweight and you want to lose weight, you should eat less and move more. And it'll work out. It'll work out. And stop eating so much freaking sugar. And
Yeah.
that's it's hard, it's easy to say, but it's hard to practice because, as you know, the Americanized diet has sugar in everything.
So much.
It's a ridiculous amount of sugar. And
We've reduced a good amount of sugar out of the house. Just one of the leading reasons being sugar and ADHD don't mix very
yep,
well at all. It
yep,
makes the
yep.
impulses even more difficult to control. But also, we both lost weight by taking it out of the house.
Yeah,
And now we just have it as a treat. Like every once in a while, we'll have something sugary in the house. We'll demolish it in like 2 days, but we'll have it just for that short time. We do not keep anything sweet in the house.
yeah. I don't either. Like my kids don't have like they don't have sweets, they don't have sugar. But also like my oldest, if you give him like the smallest amount of sugar, he's never really had it. So if we give it to him now, it freaks him out and like he just bounces off the walls. He's like a totally different kid. And
Yeah.
as a parent, other parents, you guys should recognize, I'm not going to tell anybody how to raise their child, but recognize the effect that sugar has on a small child because a small dose for a small child is not equivalent to a small dose for you. A small dose for you of sugar is a large dose for a small child. And I could literally give my kid like one piece of candy and he would just all over the place for like the next 2 hours. He's a totally different kid.
Yeah.
And it's wild to watch it. So we're like, okay, no more sugar in the house. Nobody's giving this kid sugar. We just don't like what it does. It's just not good. And there are some things like, there are some like, I think we have some chocolate somewhere in the house. I don't know. We don't really keep it, man. Like we cook at
Yeah.
home. We don't really eat a lot of fast food. Like maybe once or twice a month. And even then, like I don't know if you've had like Ninja Express or ever heard of it, but it's
Yeah.
like it's authentic like sushi, and like we'll go for that. So, but we don't really eat like I said, we don't eat McDonald's, we don't eat like Burger King and like all that stuff. We just don't. We used
Yeah.
to, but we don't anymore, and we grow our own food now, and well, my wife does, and like literally all around my property. Like she's got tomatoes over here. You can see all this she's done.
Holy crap.
And she's got all of this here, all these vegetables, everything around my property is edible basically. So you can just walk around the yard and just start eating stuff if you want to. And a lot of people don't do it because it's work, but I can tell you the benefits definitely outweigh the work.
Yeah. Save money and you're eating well.
Yeah, dude, fresh San Marzano tomatoes made into pasta sauce that I can make for dinner. Oh my God. It's so good. They're sweet. Like you can go buy a tomato from the grocery store and it tastes like a tomato, but that tomato is like almost 3 weeks old by the time you get it, and it's been
Yeah.
deprived of its nutrients because it's just been grown in a cage. But if I go right over here and pick one of these tomatoes and eat it, like it tastes like a piece of candy, but also like a tomato, and it is freaking delicious. Oh my God, it's so good, dude. It is so good. Like
See,
you
we
can,
will eventually do a garden, but we haven't started it yet.
yeah, this is all her, man. She's been on it. I have my projects that I do, and like the garden thing is her project, and she's all about it. So
Nice. Oh yeah.
she's very good. But I do, obviously, I do all the business stuff, and that's my focus. But eventually, I want to be able to do it all full time, as everybody knows. But I'll get there.
Mhm.
I'll get there. Baby steps.
Right.
But
Yeah,
that's
once I get out of my current career field, if I'm able to get into something with a better schedule, I'm hoping to get back into streaming again
yeah. I
to
hope
get
you
that.
do.
Because being Twitch's only superhero, kind of a nice niche to be in.
It is. It's very niche.
Mhm.
How is the stand up stuff? We didn't get to talk
Stand-up,
about it a
stand-up.
lot.
Yeah, I haven't done stand up in a while. I still write down jokes that, of course, they would still have to be fleshed out and everything. All they are is just ideas
Yeah,
that need to be put in front of a crowd to find out what parts are funny, what's not.
yeah,
Um, I've been
dude.
thinking about because Helium and Indie just started opening back up.
Nice.
I've been thinking about doing open mics, but I don't know. I can't do my old policing bits that I used to due to the world that we're in now. So
One day
I'll
I
just
want to
change
do
those
it
up.
just to say that I did it, and that's it.
Yep.
Like I want to do it just to say that I did it, whether I'm funny or not. I hope I get booed off stage because
Yeah.
I want to be humbled as much as possible. So boo me the hell off stage. I don't care. But
That's my issue is that I killed the first time I did it.
ah,
So it's like I should probably keep doing it, but I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but I probably shouldn't. Like
like
it's
my
the
problem
want
is
to
like
ride that high again.
my problem is that like when I'm around my friends when there's like no cameras and I'm around the people that I'm comfortable with, I'm funny and I know that. But if I think about it in practicality and then I'm like, well, if I go up on stage and this is produced and this is very orchestrated, I'm going to suck
Mhm.
because that's not how I operate. So I'm going to have to be like Joey Diaz where I just get up there and tell like this shitball story of something that happened to me that's only partly true by like 10% and just completely
Yep.
conflate it
Just roll
because
with it.
I couldn't get up there and just I don't think I could do that. Some people can and they're great at it, but I couldn't do it. I really couldn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do it again or not. It's I go back and forth with it in my mind,
Yeah, you should, man.
probably.
You should.
That's why I like being on Twitch because I still get to use that part of my brain and still make people laugh, but I'm not constantly building material and staying up late at a bar to make people laugh.
Yeah.
It's on my own time, luckily.
I also can't say a lot because I haven't written down a single joke except for the like ones that I've texted you like last year. But
Yeah.
those were just like ideas that came up on my head. They weren't even like thought out into like joke form. They were just like the premise. But like I every time I listen to like podcasts, like I listen to Rogan, I listen to Diaz, I listen to Bobby Lee and Trussell and everybody. And every time I listen to these guys, I'm just like I I feel like I'm just as funny as these guys. It's just hard for me to convey it on camera because I feel weird on camera because like I try to be a little bit professional on camera, but in my head I'm thinking like in profanities and all of these like things that I would normally joke about. And I can't do it because like my mom's watching, you know? Like so I don't want her to be like, "Oh my god, is this my son?"
I was streaming and my mom was watching me because she always pops in on my streams.
Yeah.
Well, she lived with my brother, so she had my niece and nephew watching, and she goes, "Oh, hey, I have Preston and Kenzie watching too." And as I'm being Vlad and doing all my ridiculous stuff, I ended up cussing left and right because of something that happened. I think I was scared. I think I was
Yeah.
playing the forest or something like that. And one of the kids got a hold of the keyboard and was like, Uncle Charlie, you cuss a lot. I was like, oh no, I forgot you guys were watching. So I had to
Yeah.
make sure I didn't get the crap scared out of me again.
That'd be my life.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the very first person who would call me is my mom. Be like, so, how was your whatever event? How was your event? What do you mean? Oh, you know what I mean. Did I raise you to talk like that? Yes. No. Yes, but no. So I could only do that on a stage, but on a stage I would suck. I know I would,
Nah.
which is why I do these, because I feel better here, where there's like, I can talk to you or somebody that I know for sure, and then just allow the crowd to like decide whether it would be like entertaining or not. So I can, I don't mind like public speaking. I can do that all day long. But if they're like, if somebody were to like, if I paused in between something I was talking about on a stage and somebody's like, tell me a joke, I'd just be like, okay,
Everything's good.
yep, bloop, done. So, but I've also never done it before either, so that's to be expected.
It was
Cussing adds spice to your sentences. Yes, it does.
it was crazy. Like I've kicked in doors in law enforcement. I've done a whole bunch of different things within that. That got my blood pumping.
Yeah.
I would say without a doubt, stand up has given me the biggest adrenaline rush.
And you know, the funny thing is, everybody's podcast who is a comedian that I've listened to, they've all said that exact same thing, that when as soon as they got up on the stage, they knew that's what they were supposed to do. So maybe you should think about that too, because they've all said the exact same thing that you just said. And look where they're at and what they've done with themselves. And they're all moving to Texas. So there you go.
Oh my God, the exodus of all the big names in comedy right now is nuts.
Dude, it's not just comedy.
It makes me wonder what that'll do to, like, of course, it's not going to have a massive wave on California's budget, but I wonder how much money that is actually taking away from California.
So I remember I texted you earlier and I was like, I don't really want to like talk too much about politics because I want to get away from like polarizing stuff because I just want to hang out with my friends, which is cool. And I don't want to do like the whole like, oh, here's why you should vote for Joe. Oh, here's why you should vote for Donald. Oh, Orange Man bad. Like that kind of bullshit. I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with my friends and just I'm not a politician. I don't know jack shit. Don't listen to me. But so there's like, for people who don't know, there's a mass exodus happening in California right now. Like people are literally leaving in droves. They are moving out. They are sending their businesses to different states. People are moving to Texas. People are moving to Vegas, and people are moving to the East Coast, getting literally the hell out of California. And it's gotten so bad to the point right now that politicians are discussing a wealth tax as of June. And you'll have to look it up. It's Bill AB 1253. And they are deciding, they're literally talking about this. They're literally deciding, like, if you make $5 million a year, let's say that you do, these politicians are discussing whether you and your group of friends should get taxed extra just because you make profit. Because they're running out of money, and it's a fund that will go into the general fund for the government to supplement the economy, because they've lost that much money. They're considering taking more, and they're already in California taxed at a higher rate than any other state when it comes to wealth, and they want to tax it more.
Geez, thanks, Joe Rogan.
So
glad I live with you.
And like for people like Joe, he might get into a little like a predicament with many other people who are moving, because they want that wealth tax to be retroactive to 10 years ago. So they want to go back 10 years and assess your wealth. And as you know, Joe is drifting away from YouTube and going strictly on Spotify. And that was $100 million deal. That deal happened before all of this. And if this is retroactive to 10 years, his wealth, his net worth is already 25 million on top of the 100 million, and they're going to tax that like 25%, he's gonna make $100 million, and he's gonna get taxed $25 million just for living in California.
It's wicked. That is bonkers.
It is such bullshit.
Yeah.
It is such bullshit, and it's literally just robbery. It's literally theft.
Yeah. Oh, California's going broke. But yeah, Austin. So, as you said in a lot of the podcasts, with that mass exodus, a lot of comedians are already saying, "Well, Texas is now going to be one of the big comedy states. The city of Austin is about
Austin,
to explode."
baby. Everybody moved
Yeah.
to Austin. I want to move to Texas. I brought it to my wife a couple of years ago. I was like, why don't we move to Texas? It's booming. And then she was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, that's not a good reason. Let's go.
Well, the only downside is there's two downsides. One, it gets really hot. Not just hot here, just really hot. And two,
it's
all
humid.
all the bugs are so angry down there from it being so damn hot, everything wants to kill you. It's like Australia.
It's almost worth it, though, if you think about it.
Fair. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Almost worth it. They have a lot of good food.
it's
I hear the barbecue is great in Texas.
I
And
haven't tried.
Everybody has big belt buckles, and everybody wears plaid T-shirts and cowboy hats.
I
Heck
used to
yeah,
go-
man.
I went to a rodeo in Houston. It's like there's two big rodeos. One's in Houston, and the other one I can't remember. But it's one of the big ones. And just being in that atmosphere, like everybody is a cowboy at a rodeo.
Of
I was
course.
walking around with my wife, and I was like, I should get a hat. I should get a hat.
You should get a 10-gallon hat.
If you're going to get a hat, don't get it from a rodeo. They jack the prices up. We'll go to a hat place.
Sure.
And then after the rodeo, I was like, I'm glad I didn't get it.
I don't think I need one, but to have one in theory would sound cool. But I wouldn't mind moving to Texas, man. I could operate my business in any state. It's all online. That's the cool thing about just being e-commerce is that I can just move and I can operate my business from my phone. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, like 90% of it I can do from my phone.
If you move anywhere, you should move down towards me because everything's expanding here.
Well, the problem is that it's still Indiana. I have a problem in general with Indiana as a whole. So, yeah.
Not
I mean,
a lot is going on here. Not yet.
Like, it's still sucky, but let's make it a little less sucky and then just move down to that area. Like, I used to live down there, and it's great. And it's booming now from when I was there, but it's still Indiana, and it's still conservative. And I want to live in a place that is as motivated as I am to not necessarily like to succeed, but just be willing to have an open mind about things that are good for us and not be 2 years behind everybody else. That would be really nice.
That's the downside of the Midwest as a whole, is we're the last to catch on to the big idea.
Yeah. And let's not get that twisted here, people. I'm not like a pothead or anything like that. I just mean in the sense of the economy, and I mean that in the sense of having a livable wage. That I don't want to, like, you can go work at our gas station here and you can make $10 an hour, and I think it's bullshit because these are billion-dollar companies that are paying their employees $10 an hour, and they can afford it. Trust me, I know that they can afford it, and they don't. All these big companies here, we're a manufacturing state. We pay people as little as possible and get the most productivity out of these people, and we just squeeze them like a sponge until every drop is dripped out of the sponge. We throw it away, and then we get a new one. And that's why I don't agree with the Midwest in general.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
You know, it's a series of things like that. And there are other places where
you probably like Austin.
I probably would. I feel like I really would. I don't want to live like I couldn't do New York. I lived in New York I didn't live in New York. I went to New York for like a week, and like to visit is awesome, but that constant chaos, literally until 3 a.m., like it's booming until 3 a.m., man, that would just like, it would so wear me out. I would get so mentally exhausted and drained. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything. And I know for a fact, like New York isn't for me. It's too much. And Chicago is not for me. I've been there a million times and I hate Chicago. The only thing I like about it is they have Giordano's, the original Giordano's pizza. And it's the best pizza I've ever had in my life. That's the only thing I like about Chicago. But I need a place that's like, just imagine like Indiana on steroids. I would imagine that would be Austin.
Yeah, it's probably fair. That and there's quite a few headquarters. Like there's the Chive. The Chive is based out of Austin. There's a handful of other awesome places like that are all in Austin.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a Giordano's coming to Fort Wayne, but I don't feel like it's going to be as good as the original. There's one in the original in Chicago is you just need to make the trip. Like it's a 4-hour drive, do it in a weekend, like just if you haven't been there, just go. You're going to try it and then you're going to be like, "Oh my God, Pizza Hut in this town sucks."
That's fair.
You haven't had you don't know that you've like not had good pizza until you've had great pizza, and then you're like, "Wow, my life is a lie."
Everything tastes like Little Caesars.
That's why I started my coffee company, because I didn't know that I had bad coffee until I had great coffee, and then as soon as I had it, I liked it so much I turned it into a business. So
There you go.
Yeah, I just want the rest of the world to share in my love.
I was hopping into your streams and making people laugh with a shitty Russian accent.
It worked out though. Look at you go, man.
How about it?
You're making money from Twitch, doing something that you like.
Yep.
And I did it, but I have 2 kids and I'm too busy and I can't dedicate like 4 hours at least. But it was good for the time being. I was making good money. I was like, I was at this like transitional point where I was considering like either going like part-time at work so I could have more time to stream, or just quitting altogether because I could afford it. And I was like, if I do both, my focus is only half and half on one and the other. But it was one of those where I was like, I want to focus on something. Should I do this or should I do this? And I chose to instead focus more on my coffee business because I put a lot of thought into it, and like the immediate reward for being able to stream and do all that was good. But in the long term, looking at from when I started and then you came in and then how it is now and how the culture is kind of like declining with things. And you know exactly what I mean by that, is that it's just not like it used to be. I'm glad that I didn't take the immediate and I went for the longevity with a coffee company. I'm glad that's what I did.
There's more stability in that.
There is. And so I'm willing to like eat shit for a couple of years, maybe, 5 years or whatever. I'll do it. And I know I know my business is going to work out. I know that. I just know that it's going to take time. And if somebody was like, well, how much time do you think that it's going to take? I can't put a timestamp on it, but definitely 5 years, probably 10, somewhere around there. But it's going to work out and it's going to be better than that initial buyout from like going to streaming. So it'll be way
that's the
better.
one thing that's stopping me from, like, me and the wife have discussed it. Like, full-time streaming would be nice, but the issue is it's not stable. And of course, there's nothing is for sure.
No.
Next day Twitch could be taken out. Like, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. Gone.
Yeah, and you can't really like define your pay either, because there were like literally months where I made like $600-700 just from streaming, and then like the next month I would turn around and make like 1 or 2, and it was never constant, and I would just always be in this perpetual state of concern, like, oh my God, I don't have any clue how much money I make. But that would be scary. So I'm glad that I didn't do it, but it's whatever. It would have been fun, but I can still play video games. I still do, but
exactly.
That's
why, like, I'd like to go back into streaming. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's a hobby at the end of the day. A hobby that makes me money. I can make people laugh just gaming.
Yeah.
I don't need streaming. I do need to make people laugh. That's something I crave.
Yeah.
But I'm able to do that with either human interaction or gaming with other people.
Right. I do that too. So I get my kicks that way by messing with people. And it's hard for me to remember that my face is always like this, whether I'm joking or not. And I do that sarcastic, serious stuff. And I get a lot of, you get that weird pause where people are like trying to figure out if I'm joking or not. And I'm like, dude, if I was angry, you would know. I'm always joking. Don't take me serious. Don't take me seriously. But no, I don't know if you know, dude, but I started like a small media business. A small media business. Did you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's working.
Media and everything.
Yeah, it's working out really well, dude. It's working out really well. I'm not gonna conflate things. It's just started, but as it's just started. I have a really good start. So I think I'm going to
I
run with it for a year or two.
when I worked for the payroll company I was working for before Corona hit and everything, there was a lady that I had that I would refer my clients over to for social media management.
Yeah.
And it's just her,
Yeah.
and she does a great job.
Yeah.
That's a cool field to be in.
That was one thing where like I knew I had the skill base in, so I was like, why not get paid for it, and why not help other people?
Mhm.
Because I like to help people, so I do, and that's why I do these. But I was, before you hopped in, I think you were kind of like messing with your computer or your phone or whatever, and I was
Yeah.
going through like some of the numbers. Like I ran one ad for 5 days on my coffee company because I hadn't done anything for like, there have been like 30 days where I was just like doing background things and letting it go. I didn't do any advertising, so I'm like starting at zero. And I ran one ad for 5 days, and I bumped engagements on my page up literally like 42,000%. 42,000. And I looked at that number like 2 days ago after the ad that I ran was over, and I was just like, oh my god, that's
fantastic.
it is. But even more so, like people like Cassandra in here who do like similar things that I do. Like she does a lot of live videos and stuff. I want people like her to understand that just because like this Corona thing is a thing, and just because businesses are getting knocked out left and right, doesn't mean that there's not a shitload of money and a shitload of business that you can capitalize on, because it's literally there. And just running off one set of data proves that if you can go from 0 to 42,000 increase in engagements on your page, 14, almost 15,000, no, as of today, 16.2 thousand people saw that ad that I've run so far. And that's just in this state. And that's a lot of people. And for the money that I spent, it's super cheap. Super, super cheap.
And that commercial is gorgeous.
Thanks, man. I put that together in like an hour.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was like, okay. Like I put that together, and like my wife was like, what are you doing? I was like, check it out. And like she saw, like she didn't see like all the text or hear the music. She just saw like the coffee beans being stirred. And I was like, what do you think about this? And she's like, ooh, I like that. I was like, yeah. I was like, just wait till I'm done. And like I started like formulating this plan in my head. So I put together something that was simple and to the point and told you right where to go. And hopefully the message that I wanted to convey was that I wanted people to understand that there's love in this business, because you know at the end it says love your coffee. I wanted people to feel like I do, and then there's my logo, so I wanted those two things to be like synonymous with each other. And the music, I think, kind of like edged that in there and kind of like nudged you toward like, ooh, this looks good. And the day that I put it out, somebody went in and ordered 4 bags of coffee off me in one shot, and I was just like, oh, it works really well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it came straight from that ad. So whatever ad spend I spent on it, like I made it back in a couple days. So it was nice.
Hell yeah.
And that's all I do, man. I don't make a profit. Like I don't take a pay cut. Like I don't pay myself through the business. It all goes to cycle back into advertising and marketing and revamping the page like I did. So
it looks good.
Appreciate
Definitely
it,
looks good.
spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. And I talk way too much about myself, but what are you doing like right now? Are you still with the payroll company or?
No. So when Corona hit, all of the businesses I was working with didn't have payroll. So I wasn't getting paid.
Right.
And none of the businesses I wanted to work with was doing payroll. So I couldn't make any money on sales. So I was like, got to change things up. I need something more stable. So believe it or not, I kill bugs for a living.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I changed it up. I work for a newer pest control company in Indy. They're a year and a half in Indy. I've been with them for going into 6 months now, and within probably the next 3 months, they'll have me running the place.
Do they need a marketing guy? Because I can get you. I can make sure I can seal your deal for you if you want.
I would say yes, but so the company is called Rise Pest Control. Well, the initial Rise is a marketing company in Utah,
Yes, it
and
is.
then they branched into pest control just
Yeah.
because.
hmm
So yeah, that's I would say yes, but they're already all over the marketing.
It's okay. I'll hit them up. I can do better. I know I can do better.
Yeah, as soon as I went into the place, I was like, all right, I need a new goal for this place. It's like I'm gonna run this place in less than a year, and
There you
I'm
go.
almost there.
There you go.
So it's been good.
Do you ever have any like desire to like be self-employed for anything or just to like do anything like that or
I've never had the idea, because for most of my life I thought I was gonna be a cop until
yeah.
I wasn't a cop. So reestablishing that idea and trying to think of, okay, what do I do now that I'm a cop? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? It's like, well, my goal now is just to do something that will make sure me and the family stable and help pave the way for whenever I have kids.
Sure.
So
So you need stability and you need something that's regular and you want the sure thing, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that at all, man. Nothing wrong with that. I hear you. And
if I did something self-employed, I wouldn't know what it would be. The only thing I could ever think of is stand up, but having
you
to
should do
have
it.
that as a source is nuts, a source of income. Because you have to do years of not getting paid to get to a point where you can be paid.
Yeah, I do all this for free, man. I do it because I like it. I
So,
mean, wouldn't you do stand up just because you love it? You said so yourself.
yeah,
See where I'm
I
going
would.
here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So why not get yourself paid and film your stand-up sessions and put them on a YouTube channel or put them on Instagram and take little short 30-second bits that you tell and put them on like IG Live and then just let it do its thing, man. Because when I started doing these, like I used to do these a couple years ago, and this sounds like a similar conversation we had a couple years ago. I started
Hmm.
doing these and I had like maybe like the it's showing like 3 viewers, but there's more people watching. But I started out with like 2, 3, 4, 5 people watching, and by the end of these, there's like almost 1,000, and
Yeah,
it's been about a year, and it's just as long as I keep doing it, it's going to keep going. So
more and more
good.
exposure.
You
Yep.
have to start somewhere, man. And I can
Mhm.
do these now, and I'm kind of at like I'm almost at a leverage point where my hope is like one day to have like a couple thousand people in like a session of these. So like people like you, I can plug your
Mhm.
stuff and then get you some exposure. So like when you have like if you have an Instagram or if you have a YouTube channel where you developed your stand up and then like a couple years down the road where there instead of like 10 people there's like 10,000 or whatever watching, I could be like all of you go subscribe to this guy's YouTube channel right now because that would instantly monetize you and you would instantly get paid. And then all of a
Mhm.
sudden your career just virtually, like, and when I mean virtually, I mean like on the internet virtually goes from here and just gets lifted with this huge viewership just
Mhm.
because I like helping people and all these people I would just love to flood to people like you or to like Cassandra or whoever. So like I'm just going to
Yeah,
keep doing this until it happens. So
that works. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
it'd be cool, man. You change somebody's life, literally. It would be really cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'm not there yet. I put something out on TikTok about like being able to like buy like at least like one person's groceries, and so I started a Venmo account like that day, and then
Mhm.
I put out a TikTok on it, and a whole crap load of people watched it, but I have like
Mhm.
$0 in donations. And a lot of people would be like, oh, I should quit TikTok. Like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep doing it. All that means is that I don't have enough of a push power to be able to do it yet. So I will do it and I want to. It's a matter of time. So
Growing a following is like farming. It just takes time.
it's hard to do, man. It's hard to do.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And bringing constant value to people is hard to do.
Oh yeah.
So you have to talk about things that people enjoy hearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, look, it's
that was the
Kayla.
fun thing I enjoyed with. What's that? Oh, nice. Oh, little Vlad. Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, She's calling you out, man.
Oh yeah, he's down in Texas now.
Yeah, she went to Texas. She got smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where she's at is where my wife went to college.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see on the stand-up thing.
Hopefully
I want to
hopefully it
see.
just, I'm not
I want
trying
to
to
see
like
what
make
happens.
you. I just want you to think about it. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. You're doing the same thing you did with streaming. I get
I
it.
don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do anything, man. I just go with people's strong points and I just
I
point
did
them out.
nothing. Nothing.
It's effective, right? It works. It
Oh, without
works.
a doubt. Mm-hmm. I'm taking
It'll
off my socks and feet are getting hot.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. The wife got me brand new socks, and I was like, "Why am I getting so warm right now?" Took those off. I was like, "Oh, I can breathe now."
Yeah, I had to get new socks. All mine had holes in them from work. So, like
Yeah,
the heels have holes in them like this. And I threw them all away.
it's so they can breathe. Makes it easier.
Air conditioning for my feet.
Mm-hmm. Good move.
Dude, how long have we been on this thing? It's been at least an hour, hasn't it? Has it been longer than an hour? I don't know what time it is. Because I'm like full screen
It
here.
is 7:32. So yeah, we've been here an hour and a half.
Whoa! That's awesome.
We've been grooving as usual.
I know, man. I start having fun and it's like a time warp. I lose track of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I don't understand how I have the bladder power for this.
heard that. Yeah, so I've consumed a lot of water today.
My wife just texted me right now and she said I got sucked into holding a newborn. So you know what that means? No, we're not going to have baby number 3, but she's going to bug me about it for about 2 months.
Oh, geez.
Look at this. Look at this comment here, though. Cassandra's really cool, though. By the way, she said you start that comedy YouTube channel, and I'll absolutely follow you, support you, and share your stuff. And I don't even know you, but we all got to support each other and cheer each other in. And she couldn't be more correct. That's
Yep.
the kind of people that I want around in my circle, who are willing to just engage in each other's business and share in each other's mutual success. And that's all that I want, man. That's why I don't have a lot of haters around on my Facebook and stuff. Everybody's really freaking cool.
Yeah, I suppose the closest thing to a comedy channel I have is just is Vlad's Instagram.
Yeah. Good thing YouTube is free.
Yeah. Well, Vlad has a YouTube channel, but I've only posted one video. It was a clip back when I first started that was hilarious. And I went, "Oh yeah, I don't know how to edit videos." After I posted that first one, I was like, "Shit."
Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody who does?
Yeah, I should probably look you up.
I don't know. I'll have to look around. I'll look around. If I find anybody who knows, I'll have them reach out to you.
Right. Yeah, I need to hit you up.
Yeah, please do, man.
Yeah, I need to sit down and actually make content that I have written down ideas for instead of just being like, "Yeah, I should do that."
Dude, honestly, what would be really cool, because like I have to do these for like an hour. Like if you do like comedian stuff, like you could just think of like a good joke and develop it and get it down, and then just record like that 30-second bit, that 2-minute bit, that little short bit, and just record them and just post them, and then just have this whole slew of these funny, shitty comedy videos where you're just like holding your phone and just like one joke at a time, just posting these things, and they're just bangers, and you just bust them out. And then all of a sudden you've got like 50 of these videos, these short videos that, you know, like you hit like a Facebook video and you can just keep scrolling through like what's going on in the feed, like, and just see like a whole slew of all your jokes. That would be cool.
See, if I could, because I've deleted most of them, if I could download all my stuff from Instagram and post them, I would, but I can't.
What kind of phone do you have?
Just a Google Pixel.
Oh, so he's like with an iPhone, you can record the screen as it goes. So like you can literally screen record your screen. So you could do it that way.
I could probably do it on my computer.
Yeah, you definitely can. You know how to work OBS. You know it can record stuff.
Yeah. So that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that'd be awesome though, man. I'd love to see that. Like a lot of people post like those like joke stories, and they'll tell like a 10-minute story, and they'll like post it on like YouTube or whatever. But like just short little jokes, I think that would be hilarious. That would be awesome. I want in on this
Well,
editing chat. Yeah, no problem.
That's the one thing that if I did get into stand up, I'd actually be able to work on jokes and make them better.
Website is easy to use, very good place. Cool. I'm glad you checked it out, Brad. I appreciate your input, dude. Thank you for that. That's all I want at the end of the day is just a little input, whether it's good or bad. I gotta know, man. I gotta know how to help you guys. If I can accept the good things, I can accept the bad things. I'm waiting for one person to like message me and be like, "Yo, your website's shit. I tried to click on something and it blew up my computer." Like, I'm just waiting.
Your website was such trash. My toaster caught fire.
Your website's so bad that DCS knocked on my door after I left.
Oh God. That's awesome.
I believe the app is called Viva Video. The free version isn't too bad for shorter videos. Sure, whatever it takes. You don't have to put out like this highly produced quality. Like, okay, I should have saved, like, I should save this for later, but I'll tell you since you're here and I'll get your input and Cassandra's input. So, like, eventually through like my video media website, I'm gonna say this and then I'll be done. But I'm going to like eventually start like amassing a team of people who are like content creators or graphic artists or whatever, and who just share the same mentality. And we're all going to work for free. So don't think that you're like going to get paid. This is going to be like, I don't know what to even call it. It's an idea I'm formulating in my head. Think of it as like a Justice League of content creators where we're just all going for the same goal and helping each other out. So like if like I as a graphic designer, like if you have a need, you can reach out to me. And if I need something that's funny that I'm writing as a piece of like content for my page, I can reach out to you and just be like, dude, how do I make this boring ass paragraph funny? And then you can look at it and revise it. And then, you know, like Cassandra could be like, hey, I'm trying to like make some graphic for my unique page where I'm trying to sell stuff. Can you make this piece of content for me more engaging? So when people look at it, they stop and look at it because it's engaging. And then Charlie got together and he made it sound really funny. And it says lashes for days because that was his idea, and it's all in pink. And now I just made 10 sales because of that. And we all just, I don't know what to call it, but I'm kind of like working on it. I'm working on it. I don't know, but that's what I want to do with part of that is I want to be able to get with people who can just want to lift each other up with, you know, with nothing else in mind other than just helping each other out because we're cool as shit. You know, like not one of those like, I made this for you, pay me. You made a lot of money off of this piece of content, pay me. Like, no. I don't want to do that. I don't know. Some super team of super people.
I like the idea. I'm a big fan of super people.
I've been thinking about it for months. I just don't know what to call it or how to approach it yet, but I'll get there.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, but the numbers will come. You know, it'll come later.
Yeah, I like it.
Put my first order in. Well, you know, that's awesome, man. Thank you. What did you order, dude?
Oh, there it is.
I can put Band-Aids on. Okay. I got the scratch on my arm for my dog, and maybe you can help me with that. So that didn't feel very good. I got a boo-boo.
Nice.
Cheering on someone else's success doesn't dim your own. This is true. It actually makes it brighter. And that's what we need to understand because, as we all know, we're in a temporary society where we're constantly undercutting each other and cutting each other down and arguing with each other. And what we don't understand is the idea of how to work together again. That's what we've forgotten, and we need to get back to that.
Yep. So speaking of super people, have you seen the Batman trailer?
I watched it last night 3 times.
I've watched it so many times. It looks so good.
I think I, like everybody else, didn't have high hopes until I saw the trailer. I had my reservations. I'm not going to just like come in with a negative mentality and just be like, no, because it's got Robert Pattinson in it in Twilight. A lot of people do that, but I was like, you know what? I saw this guy in other movies, and he is a legitimately good
Mhm.
actor. So I'm going to give
Yeah.
this a shot based on knowing what I know of this dude, not as a vampire, but as an actual actor, and give him a shot. And they wouldn't have picked him. They wouldn't have picked him for a DC revision if he wasn't a spectacular actor. So the trailer came out,
Yeah.
and I think if I know you well enough, you, like myself, saw a bunch of guys with skull face paint saying, "Who the hell are you?" And then the one guy walks up and he beats the literal crap out of this guy, and he says, "I'm vengeance."
It's so brutal.
I was
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. I
Didn't
love
do what
this.
everybody else thought they would do because everybody was like, "Oh, he's just gonna say I'm Batman." It's like, no, he is the embodiment of vengeance. Like that, and that scene was brutal. Like you see one of the guys with their face makeup. One dude looks like he's about to cry because Batman just broke that guy's face
And his
because it's
arm.
early Batman.
He pulled his
So
shoulder out of
he's
socket,
gonna mess
and
up
he
a lot.
dislocated his elbow, and he knocked that guy out, and then punched him more on top of that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
early days of Batman was brutal. He messed up a lot. Like it's gonna be dirty, and I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yes.
Also,
And
did you
there,
hear who's playing Alfred?
who's playing Alpha? No, I didn't hear.
Andy Serkis.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it true in this redevelopment that the Penguin is it Colin Farrell? Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. So
That's incredible,
most
dude.
people
Did you
didn't
see his
realize it was
face?
him. You know the fat guy?
I saw
Yeah,
his
the
eyes,
fat
and I
guy
was like,
in the
"That's
trailer
Colin
was
Farrell."
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I saw his eyes, and I knew. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's Colin Farrell." I knew
I
it, and
didn't
I looked
believe
it
it.
up, and I was like,
I
"Yes,
was like,
dude." But this is since it's early on, that means the villain is Edward Nygma, right? Because
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah,
sure
it's
it's Edward
Riddler.
Nygma. I haven't researched it too
Yep.
much, but it's very clearly Enigma, the Riddler, for people who know the Riddler as the Riddler and not as Jim Carrey
Yeah.
the Riddler. What people need to understand is like my wife is so much more interested in like comic book movies, not like the cheesy ones like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because what people need to understand is that the comic book adaptations of superheroes is so much more dark and dreary and just so it's so good. The writing is so good. You
Yeah.
can't make a movie out of it because you don't have enough time to get into the depths of these stories. And like, I've talked to people who are like, "Oh, Batman just knows karate and he has money," and I'm just like, dude, Batman
He
killed a
knows
shitload of
karate.
people. Batman killed a shitload of people back in his young days, and he's so distraught over this to the point that he just doesn't do it anymore. But this man has mastered, the key word here is mastered, 130 of the most major martial arts systems in the entire world, because he
Yeah.
is obviously he's a genius and he's rich, but he's mastered 130 of major martial arts, all of them, every single one. He's a master. That means he's a black belt, or I don't know, a 10th
Yeah.
Dan at everything. But
Yeah.
the people who like just look at the movies and they're like, "I don't really like Batman." It's like, read the comic books, man. Flashpoint Paradox. That's why the Flash is my favorite superhero of all time, because like the Flash that you guys have seen in the
That's what the
movies,
movie is.
yeah, it's gonna come out. It's coming out. They're touching on it. Flashpoint Paradox is
Yep.
gonna be a thing, and I'm just gonna be elated. I'm gonna be freaking out the whole time, and I'm gonna go see it.
So that's why they confirmed that Ben Affleck was still Batman.
Yeah,
The
they're gonna
current
push.
theory, the current fanboy theory, is that the movie starts with Affleck, second time, and it's Robert Pattinson. So after everything gets reset, Robert Pattinson is now Batman.
There's gonna be a point with this. Like, there was a whole ironing out process where we had like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then we had Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, and it was terrible. Okay, and anytime you start something new, it's gonna suck. But I think we got with people like Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon a little bit, who had some really good ideas, and they said, you know what? here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down in this boardroom and we're going to discuss the next 10 to 20 years of movies and how we're going to intertwine all of them to fit their arcs and run more along the lines of the comic books and make them more dark, because we had people, like I said, we had people like Tobey Maguire playing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's story arc is terribly depressing. And every superhero's story arc is horribly depressing, but it's also, it's more like Watchmen than it is like Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is more dark like Watchmen is. There's a lot of death, and there's a lot of dying, and there's a lot of people getting hurt, and there's a lot of just graphic things. And the superheroes are so much more enjoyable once you know their actual story arc. And I always tell people my favorite superhero is the Flash, for a reason, because he's the only superhero who's ever beat Superman in a foot race or any kind of race. And he's the only person who single-handedly saved the universe by himself with just a few quick actions by himself. No other superhero has ever done that. And there's so much behind that, that if you read into it, just watch Flashpoint Paradox. Watch it, and you'll understand.
Yeah, that was a solid animated movie.
It was good.
Gorgeous. Yeah. So one thing I wish they'd make is Planet Hulk. They made an animated version, and they were close, but they didn't get it because there were still rights tied up in different things. And they teased parts of it with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
and
they did.
So much more they can do that it's still by far my favorite comic. It's like mixing the movie Gladiator with Hulk.
Yeah, it literally is. And, you know, I'm going to blow a lot of people's minds right now. So, you guys know how Thanos actually legitimately got those scars on his cheeks right here? Do you guys know? I'll tell you, because I guarantee you a lot of you don't know. That actually happened from Wolverine. Wolverine did that. And I'm not going to tell you the rest. So think about that. But that's why he has those scars on his face. And as you can see, they're very discernibly right here, 3 little marks. And I also want to make a note that the cartoon adaptation of Planet Hulk, where he fought Wolverine, was amazing. And it's one of my favorite animated stories that I've watched. It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it's also free on YouTube. Yeah. It's free on YouTube, man. You can watch it.
Yeah, because with the Hulk versus, it shows Wendigo, and then you get to see all of Weapon X with Wolverine, and it's hilarious because in the old comics, if you look at what Wolverine used to look like, because that's how Wolverine got introduced, was fighting the Wendigo.
Yeah.
In his first comic, and he looked goofier than shit.
Like that helmet and like IV tubes and stuff.
Hulk versus, the Hulk versus is awesome. They did a solid job with that.
I want them to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the current issues that are coming out for Hulk are nuts because they had a guy who usually does like horror comics do these bit of Hulk, and it's the art is terrifying. They're saying it's the most powerful Hulk, but I know it's not. But it's amazing. Like Hulk gets blasted in half and he splits.
Nice.
And he's starting to heal back up. And to stop the guy that shot him, he grabs the guy and shoves him in between himself, and he heals around this guy and it kills him.
That's awesome. That's almost as awesome as the time that Magneto pulled all the adamantium out of Wolverine's bones. For those of you who don't realize that happens. Literally just everything out. Yeah.
Yeah. That almost killed him. Every time something like that has happened, he has to fight the Angel of Death, and it messes up his healing factor each time. So it's become less and less throughout time. Yeah, he had it pulled out, and then he had to go through the process of having it bonded back to his bones again. Ouch.
No, thank you.
Did you see the teaser for Suicide Squad?
Like the original Suicide Squad, or
No, the new one. James Gunn is directing it.
Oh no, I
All
haven't
they
seen it yet.
released from DC fandom. All they released from DC fandom was just what they call roll call. It's just showing all the villains that are in it. It's
Yeah.
James Gunn, so it's gonna be badass. There's gonna be good comedy. There's like 18 villains in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's pretty dark.
And
It's pretty demented.
as soon as he got hired for the job, he tweeted out. He goes, "Most everybody's gonna die." It's like,
Yeah, he's
oh
like,
my
I
god,
got
the
you.
villains that they chose, I knew like 5. The rest of them are like C-class villains from like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And
But there's a lot of
awesome.
there's a lot of super powerful superheroes that are like B and C grade, like Captain Atom. Like, come on. Where's Beta Ray
Small
Bill?
opinion.
That's what I want to. I want to see Beta Ray Bill. He should have already been in it. He should have been in
His head was in
Ragnarok.
it.
He should have been in Ragnarok. He should have been. They would have been so much better. And he wasn't in the story. But
He might be in Love and Thunder.
I don't know. You know how they do it. They screw up the storylines, and I mean, you can make that claim of like, well, this is a different universe where a similar storyline is only altered a little bit. So we have a smart Hulk for some reason. It's like, okay, all right, man,
They
I'll
did
work
me
with
dirty
it.
with Hulk. That hurt my feelings. With
Yeah,
Infinity War and then Endgame. I was like, I get it. Professor Hulk is useful, and he was useful in the comics, but his strength has a ceiling.
well,
When he's the other variations of Hulk, he does not have a ceiling.
well, let's be honest. I think my favorite Hulk was done um, by what's his face, Fight Club,
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton Hulk. That Hulk
Yep.
was more like the Hulk that I know and love.
Yeah.
Angry and
That was
uncontrollable.
close to like the personality of the two was proper there. The strongest we've ever seen Hulk in any sort of media was in the Avengers movie, the first one.
Yeah, he's supposed to be able to
Because
lift an entire planet.
Yeah, he punched that worm and stopped it dead in its tracks from 0 to full Hulk. He was able to do that, just bam, right there.
Yeah.
And that's the closest I think we'll see to what they call the Green Scar, which is what his mentality was in the Planet Hulk comic.
It's like
It
his
was him
berserker
and
mode.
Banner working together. Yeah.
But yet
Banner was
he can
supporting everything he was doing.
but yet he can lift an entire planet. And has.
He pulled tectonic plates together to heal a planet.
Yep.
What?
And also one punch killed Superman. So let's think about that one too. Well, it didn't actually kill him, but you know, he's within like 8 beats per minute of his heart rate, and he was like basically dead. So
Those old crossovers were awesome.
I know, man. The comic books are so much better. Read the comic books. But dude, I think we're gonna shut this because this is almost like 2 hours, and this is the longest one I've done. As usual, when I get with you, this is a long one, which is cool. But I gotta work in the morning. Otherwise, I'd keep going.
Heard that.
And I gotta have dinner. So, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
What do you want people to look at? Like you have any links you want to refer people to?
Best place to find me is on my Instagram. So it's Friendly Neighborhood Vlad, all one word. Find me on Instagram. Easy place for an easy laugh. It's
Absolutely.
not anything you really got to think about to giggle. It's just service level. That made me giggle kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's funny shit. He undercuts it a lot. He's funny as hell. You guys need to go check it out. You'll laugh. That's why I push him to do stand-up, because he's good.
If you like Russians, superheroes, fart jokes, that's all Vlad is.
Pretty much, but it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
All right, dude. This is going to be up later on everything, so we'll see how it goes. But
awesome.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, guys. We're out of here.
Everyone.
Hey, you too, man. Guys, see you later. Bye.